trying not to speak, pretend that I'm dreaming. I smell you.
Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. Also, if you are new, welcome. My name is Cambriea, and today, oh my goodness, you guys are going to see my house in a way that is not often seen. But this is some real life right here, especially when there are projects going on around the house. When I have a big project going on, I often lose track of the rest of the house, and it just gets crazy. But today we're going to tackle it. This is a couple days worth of work getting everything back in order, because I can tell you when my house gets this crazy, my brain gets this crazy. So I do try to stay on top of things, because I know in my life when I feel like there's times when you feel like you can't control anything. If I can at least control my house, it just goes so much more smoothly. I know I say all the time, I don't love cleaning. I am not one of these cleaning influencers that you're going to watch and I'm going to be like, oh yeah, cleaning is my passion, blah, blah, blah. Not the situation. However, I have learned over the years that the state of my house makes a huge difference on my mental state. So that's what we do here. We focus on keeping a clean and tidy and organized home. That way mentally, because let's be honest, as moms and busy wives and either stay-at-home moms, work-from-home moms, or work out-of-the-house moms, our brains get crazy, filled with a million things on our to-do list. And if there is at least one place we can go and relax and unwind, our home has to be one of them.
He's my silver lining. Whenever you call, what you say, you're nothing but a gold ring. To be true, say I do, but you're no one I needed in life. Oh, that is why you are stuck between the lines. If someone had told me that I will take off and find something greener, oh, greener than gold. If someone had told me that I will be strong, oh, I'm gonna rise and fly and leave the gold between.
So I actually filmed this video over the course of, like I said, a couple days while I was doing our master bedroom makeover. So that is where the house just got insane, is everything from that. But making sure that when I had the time, when I had the energy, I think that's a big one, is when I had the energy to do it. I just tackled little projects at a time, or they might be big projects, but just taking 5-10 minutes to get something done makes the biggest difference in the world. Because I feel like the hardest thing sometimes when you get to a point where your house is so overwhelming is just starting. So often if I tell myself, you don't have to clean the entire house, because looking at the entire house, I'd look at it and be just almost paralyzed by anxiety of what all needs to get done. But instead of doing that, saying, okay, I'm going to spend 5, 10, 15 minutes working in just the kitchen, working in just the dining room, whatever it is, I feel like that takes off so much pressure. I get messages from people all the time about how I stay motivated, how I have so much energy, which I always tell y'all, I don't. That is a mind trick of filming and editing. I definitely do not always have energy, especially right now. My energy levels are horrible. This has been the first week. Kids are back at school, so getting back into that routine has me completely drained. I wake up every 30 minutes right now to pee, because this baby is just sitting on my bladder all the time. And on top of that, I feel like all of my muscles and joints this past week have just like failed me. So the other day, and you guys, I actually had someone ask me about fall cleaning and decorating, and that is coming up next week. And as I was like preparing for it, I went down to like my normal, you guys see me like squatting and getting back up all the time, like not a big deal. I did that the other week and I almost rolled my ankle because literally all my joints have just, if I feel like that 30-week mark hit and all my joints went, okay, now we're going to prepare for baby to be born. So we have all completely loosened. So I have to be a lot more careful now because getting up and down has gotten way more difficult. But all that being said is I definitely don't have all the energy in the world or all the time in the world. So doing the little mind tricks sometimes of doing a little bit here, a little bit there makes a huge difference. Also, if you're wondering why Bobby is still in this video, so this video, like I said, filmed over a couple days. I actually started filming this video the day Bobby left to go up to Wisconsin, and then filmed it throughout the rest of the week as I was working on the bedroom because he did not know I was doing that bedroom makeover. Also, yes, if you do want to see Bobby's reaction, because I've had some people ask if I filmed that, that was on not yesterday's family vlog, but the one before that was his reaction. He loves the bedroom. He was saying how he really likes how much warmer and cozier it feels now that it's got just a little bit darker colors and everything. Also, I've gotten so many comments from you guys about moving the sofa out of our bedroom, and I'm thinking about it. So we do use that sofa, but not often. And I do think getting like a skinny bench would make the room feel a lot more larger and open. I just like the ability of having that sofa in there. That way if Freya comes in, even though usually she just crawls in between Bobby or I, or the dogs sometimes sleep on it, I like having those options. But I am considering replacing it with just a skinnier bench because I do think it would make the room feel a lot more airy and open and all of those things. Working on getting all of these boxes broken down. I had ordered a couple things for the kids' trip to Wisconsin, a couple things obviously for the bedroom makeover, as well as baby stuff. I love Amazon because everything gets delivered, but man, sometimes it just gets overwhelming the amount of like boxes and stuff you have. And yeah, between the bedroom makeover, their trip to Wisconsin, baby arrival within the next 2 months, all those things, we have had a lot of packages delivered lately. Also, I apologize if I sound out of breath. It does not take much nowadays for me to get out of breath, and sometimes even just sitting here and doing these voiceovers with you guys makes me sound like I ran a marathon, which is absolutely insane. I am excited though. So we just scheduled my C-section. So that is scheduled for everything. So I keep saying it's not, I don't want to say like, oh, that's the day the baby's going to be born, because my kids have never been born on the day they're supposed to be born. But it's at least a no later than date, which is super exciting. I am thinking, though, I have to check with the hospital and see what their visiting hours are, because I told the kids that I wouldn't tell anyone the gender of the baby till they get to meet the baby. Like, I want them to be the first to meet he or she and figure it out. But Xander doesn't get out of school, usually not even home from school, till 4:30. So I'm trying to figure all of those things out. It's crazy. I feel like now that school especially has started, it's like once school starts, life goes absolutely insane, and there's a million and one things to do between school. Freya's birthday is this month. She's turning 4. Xander and Bjorn's birthday is next month, turning 9 and 12. And then the very next month, baby's born. And then we have holidays. And just thinking about it, it's like, oh my goodness, there is so much going on. And I think that's what I mean a lot of times when it's like, as moms, we can feel so overwhelmed. And that's why it's so easy to let our house get crazy. Because when you're overwhelmed, it's really easy to just let the little things go. But not even realize that by letting those little things go, you've actually caused more stress and anxiety on yourself. So, yeah. Life is definitely hectic around here right now, and I'm sure you guys can understand. Let me know if your kids have started school yet. So in Wisconsin, we never started school till after Labor Day. So school always started in September, and then you got done like last week of May, first week of June. And since moving down here, it starts August. Like I said, Monday was our first day of school. So that has definitely been like an adjustment because it seems so much sooner than what we've been used to for so many years. But I have learned, because I know a lot of people are like, well, that doesn't make sense because you don't have like snow days and stuff. And yes, there is no snow days down here, but I will say in the couple years that we have been down here, we get just as many hurricane days as we did snow days in Wisconsin, with the beginning of the school year always being during hurricane season. I know both years so far, the kids have gotten about a week's worth of school days off, because often the schools get turned into like shelters or different situations like that, to help with any of the hurricanes. So that is definitely one thing that is a little bit different between up north and down here. But then I have also heard people that said they started in July, which is absolutely crazy. If you start in July, and in the United States, because I know different countries have different schedules, when do you get out? Because I did find it weird that in Wisconsin we started in September and we got out end of May, first week of June, and down here we start in August, but it's end of May, first week of June that the kids get out. So when it comes to those schedules, it's exactly the same.
With you by my side, if you're in, meet me here tonight. Be brave and come along, I'll be alright. Promise we don't need no brake lights. We can travel the world, so just say yes. Choose to do whatever comes next. This or that, getting drunk on whiskey on a Tuesday night, or drinking red wine by an open fire, make love or fight. This or that, this or that, evenings on the train or catch 'em on.
So how many of you are like me and you're really good at taking the garbage and recycling out and just putting it into the garage? I am really good at that. It was definitely one of those things of when Bobby and the kids were gone, I'm like, oh, I actually have to like take it out to the garbage and the recycling. And remember on the days that garbage and recycling came, because that's also like not something I personally do. You guys know, like, I have no problem with Bobby and I having like pretty specific jobs in our house. And like I will help him with stuff if he needs it and he'll help me. But for the most part, like I keep the inside of the house clean. That is what I do. I cook, I keep the house clean. I do the traditional like homemaking type chores. And then Bobby does a lot of the outside stuff, which is, especially down here, a lot of work between pool, yard, things like taking the garbages out when garbage pickup is, things like that. So with him and the boys being gone, having to like actually remember when those different days were was definitely a change to my schedule, but it was really, really nice. Freya and I got a lot of time just to like hang out and have some girl time and all those things. And especially with like baby coming, it was really nice for Bobby and the boys to have, it was almost 2 weeks of just the three of them bonding time, hanging out. And then Freya and I get almost 2 weeks of just her and I being able to do girl stuff and just a lot of really fun mother-daughter things that is going to be a little bit harder to do with a newborn, obviously. So that was very, very nice. Trying to also keep up with laundry during this whole time. I wanted to wash all the like different blankets and stuff we had in the house because one big thing, especially if you have animals and you are like me and you get very nervous about your house smelling like said animals, is washing the fabrics in your house. So we love blankets. Even if it is like 90 degrees outside, me and the kids and everyone, to me a blanket is just like cozy. It really just, even if I'm warm, I want that weight of a blanket, which by the way, if you guys have tried those cooling blankets, let me know how good they are. I keep seeing them, but I'm like, how does it, like, is it really a cooling blanket? Does it still give you that, like, weight, comfort? All those things going through my head. But I am definitely one of those people that I am usually warm, but I like the weight and comfort of a blanket. But getting all those things washed makes a huge difference of just making sure the house smells and feels fresh and clean.
Hours from dawn as I'm driving at night, waiting to get somewhere. What can go wrong when we say it outright? I really wish you were here. People seem to know just where they're heading, while you and I just feel like we're pretending. I can't do it on my own when I'm this far away from home. Won't you tell me something good? Won't you tell me something good? As I think of you and I, there's too much gonna pass us by if we don't talk like we should. Won't you tell me something good?
All right, on to another day. So you didn't really notice outfit changes much in the last like 20 minutes of this video. And that is because I was trying to wear the same type of clothes when I was doing a lot of this makeover. That way they were already dirty. And if I was going to get sawdust and paint or anything on them, I didn't want to get it on multiple outfits. But this, as you can see, is after the bedroom was all done. Oh, it felt so nice to have this done when it was finally done. And I am so thrilled with the way it came out. I will say, though, now that I have it done, I was a little nervous about, like, picking the colors in this room. Just because it's one thing to see, like, a swatch on a wall. And it's another thing when you put it all together. I do think I could have even gone a little bit darker with the color, but I am thrilled with the way that it turned out. And yeah, this is the sofa I was talking about earlier where people are like, you should switch out that sofa. So that might happen, but I don't think I'm going to do that till I find like the perfect piece, because we do use it. So I want to have something there. But yes, I did get your guys' comments and I am thinking about it. It's just one of those things of now it's like, I'm not going to get rid of it till I find the perfect piece. And you guys know me, I am not about spending money to spend money and feeling rushed into something. So I will wait till I find what I think is the perfect piece before I get rid of that sofa. And I just think that's the best way to go about it. But for cleaning, I have been loving the stuff from the wellness store. You guys hear me talk about it a lot. I've used them for years. But my biggest thing is I've been using their glass cleaner a ton since getting it. And I will say it is just as good as Spray Away. You guys know I love Spray Away. It's amazing. But 100%. Their glass cleaner from the wellness store works just as good. And I am so picky on glass cleaner. And I think part of it is with having dogs that shed a lot, it's really easy to have glass streak. So I've learned a couple of things. One, dusting beforehand makes a big difference to make sure there's no hair or anything. And if a piece of glass is really dirty, using a 2-cloth method. So if you've never heard me say that, like this mirror wasn't that dirty. So I just used my glass cloth, not a big deal. But like my sliding glass doors and stuff that get really, really dirty, I will use a traditional microfiber cloth, wipe it down, and then go back in with a glass polishing cloth. And it makes a huge difference. This bathroom, as you can see, was the biggest disaster. I had literally just finished this room the night before. And a lot of the stuff I just threw in the bathroom. So I had like filmed some of the after shots even before getting some of the touch-up stuff that I still had to do. There's still some touch-up work I need to do, just minor stuff. So I just put the paint and stuff in the bathroom. That way I could still go back and do touch-up paint and little things like that. But it was definitely getting to a point where I needed to get that all cleaned up because, like I said, if little parts of the house get crazy, it just makes me feel more anxious and crazed. And like I said, always just take a little bit of time here and there. I feel like bathrooms is one area that a lot of people say like, oh, I hate cleaning my bathroom. One biggest thing I have learned with the bathrooms is taking the like 5 minutes every day just to give it a quick wipe down makes such a huge, huge difference. And I, over time, have had less and less stuff. Like, you guys know me. Sure, I love makeup every once in a while. Like, if I'm going to do my makeup, I know how to do it, and I love doing it. But I am a very low-maintenance girl, and on most days, you will catch me in leggings with my hair up, and tinted moisturizer. And the only reason usually you're getting tinted moisturizer is because it's got a really good SPF in it, and I'm pretty picky about my skincare more than my actual makeup. So I've really cut down on like different makeup that I have so that I have like palettes that are very neutral and I can use for anything. But I used to have so much stuff, creams and makeup and like free samples you get because, oh, I'm going to try this or I've heard good things, and then you use it like once. So cutting back on those things, I feel like has made the biggest difference of keeping the bathroom like actually organized. And when it's organized, it's so much easier to actually keep it clean.
So sick of love. So sick of I'm tired of always see the better in people or the things that matter. But I never could have thought that dagger in my bag, it was you. In the echoes of your lies, dear,
actually, talking about organization, I think I'm going to do a monthly organization reset for you guys, because it's also, I think, really easy to be like, oh, I like feeling like you shouldn't organize because it doesn't stay organized. And you see people's houses and it's just so like, I think of, what's that show? It was on Netflix for a while. They were all about organizing and it was all like rainbow color coordinated. The Home Edit. There we go. I had to think of Walmart. I'm like, they have the line and I own their stuff. The Home Edit. Beautiful organization. Love their stuff. But I think it's really easy to forget, like, organization takes work. And most likely it's not going to stay organized. My house definitely does not. Like, my fridge, my pantry, junk drawers. There's just certain areas of my house that does not stay organized. I'm also not naturally a clean and organized person. Like, this is something I've had to, like, work towards, is being more clean and more organized, which is why I'm always, like, telling you guys the easy ways to do things, like declutter, because it makes cleaning easier. The different tools and supplies that makes it easier, because I'm not naturally a super clean and organized person. I have just learned that through habits, it makes it a lot easier. And one of those habits definitely is staying on top of organization and realizing it's not going to stay organized. And I also think a big difference is space really does make a difference. Like, if you live in a small one-bedroom apartment, your organization is going to have to be so much more stayed on top of than mine. And then, like, my organization has to stay so much more on top of people who have even more space than I do. I see people who have, like, these beautiful, like, dream walk-in pantries. And I'm like, I can't have a pantry like that. I just can't. I don't have the space to have that type of organization. Now, it doesn't mean I can't stay organized. It just means it takes a little bit more work and I have to stay on top of it. So yes, I'm definitely coming up on needing to do a organization reset of this house, because things and procedures have started falling out of place and I need to get back on to it. So I think I'm going to share that with you guys. Some, like, realistic organization and that it's okay to have to reset sometimes, and realizing that it's not always going to be perfect, and that is totally normal. And unless you have the financial means to have, like, way more cabinets and way more storage than you actually need, it's a lot of work sometimes. And that organization sometimes changes depending on what your, like, I can't think of it, but, like, your lifestyle. Where's your lifestyle at? I know my organization is definitely going to change a little bit now that we are back in school, just because what we needed as a family over the summer is always different than what we need over the winter.
You don't wanna talk, but there's a battle in my heart and no thoughts keep on running wild. Is it possible you sleep with someone else between your sheets, and is she laying on my side? If you look in those eyes, baby, do they make you lose gravity? Like you would hold on for so long looking at me. Look in those eyes, baby, are you forgetting our history?
Now, moving into Little Miss Freya's room. Her room honestly wasn't that bad. She's really good at cleaning up her own room when she's asked to. But I noticed the other day that her sheet had gotten all wonky, so I just wanted to go in here and give it a good reset for her. I love doing this sometimes just because my kids really appreciate it, even Freya. Like, I did this and then she went into her room. She's like, oh, "You did such a good job, Mommy. Thank you." And it just makes my heart so happy. I was laughing though. Okay, so I try to stay on top of my comments with you guys. You guys know that. Sometimes I get overwhelmed and I can't get to them all, but I really, really do try, and I at least read them even if I don't respond to them. And I got a comment on, was it my last video? I want to say my last video. I will say I did block this person or hide them from my channel because you talk about my kids, and that is a real quick way to get a block. But I was laughing because I'm like, they made one comment that was just a little snarky, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. No big deal. Like, I'm used to snarky. But then they made a comment about, because I was mentioning us wanting land and a homestead and all these things. You guys hear me talk about this on a regular basis. Like, my dream is to have, like, 20 plus acres with animals, and honestly, I'd be okay with a double wide trailer on this piece of land, because just having the land and that freedom and dirt bikes and all those things would honestly bring me so much joy that I don't need a huge 3,000 square foot mansion on the land. But someone made the comment about how it was ridiculous to have that dream when I have lazy children, and to have a homestead with kids that just want to play games rather than help out around the house. And I blocked them just because you're not going to talk about my kids. You guys know me. Like, I'm one of these people that I have pretty thick skin. You say stuff about me, like, whatever, but don't talk about my kids. But it did also make me laugh at the same time, because I'm like, I feel like you don't watch my channel, because my kids are such hard workers. Do they love playing video games? Absolutely. They're children. But they're also such hard workers. To call my kids lazy, I'm like, oh boy, like, I definitely don't think my kids are lazy, but okay. So if you are new here, I will say my kids are not lazy, and normally they clean their own rooms and everything. But I do love coming in and doing monthly to every other week room resets in their room. So they keep their clean normal most days, but every couple of weeks I come in and like to do a really good, thorough, deep cleaning, either with them or by myself, depending on the situation. And usually it's because I have a project I want to get done. So like in this situation, I came in and cleaned Freya's room because I wanted to clean this rug. So that's normally how I go about it. But otherwise, even Freya at 3 years old, if I tell her to go in her room and clean her room, she does such a good job. And I feel like it's because I have started all the kids at a young age to take responsibility for their things, their rooms, and then other things around the house as well. So Freya being 3, the boys usually unload the dishwasher when they are home from school. So usually I have to run the dishwasher twice a day, so I'll do it once and then the kids will do it. But even Freya helps with the dishwasher nowadays. She's at an age where she can do the silverware. She knows where it goes. She can do the Tupperware. She can reach it and she knows where it goes. And just giving the kids little habits like that from a young age, I feel like has made them very helpful as they've gotten older. We're actually teaching the boys how to cook now. They know like basic stuff, like they can make them ramen noodles and mac and cheese and I don't know, basics, frozen pizza. But I'm trying to teach them like actual like easy recipes that I make for dinner and stuff. And it was really nice because the other day I was just so tired. I wasn't even hungry either. And I knew I had to make dinner. So I had both boys come out and I literally just told them what to do as I sat on the couch. And they did about 95% of the work of making dinner just by me telling them. Now, it was an easy dinner, like super simple. We are not talking about me teaching them super crazy recipes, at least yet. We'll get to that point. But we're working on recipes right now with them just because I do think it's really, really important for kids to have those basic skills. The boys know how to do their own laundry now. I've taught them how to start the washer and dryer. Obviously, they've been drying or putting away their clothes for years now. But, like, how to actually do their own laundry, they're learning that. But, yeah, I think it's really, really important for those skills. I don't want my kids to turn 18, 19, 20, whatever age it is where they move out of the house and not know basic life skills. So little by little we teach them. I've also learned that there are certain things that I've had to like loosen up on just because I've always just done it for them as like habit. But then I realized that they're not learning because I'm doing it for them. So I've been working on that. That's a me thing, though, and definitely not my kid things. So, yeah. But, yeah, that was a long rant about a comment. But, yeah, I just wanted to share that comment with you because I just laugh because I'm like, you do not. You are not a true follower because I don't think anyone that actually follows me regularly. Obviously, if you're new here, you're just learning. And I'm glad you're here. But it was one of those comments like, yeah, you definitely are someone that does not follow me, at least on a regular basis. Or someone peed in your coffee this morning and you woke up on the wrong side of the bed. One of the two things.
Stop playing hard, as a matter of fact. I will never ever pretend that I'm more than that. It is hard, that I know, but I'm scared as hell. Can you please just comfort me? You know so well this is how.
Also, I always appreciate you guys just hanging out with me. You guys know, like, I love the just, like, sit down chats with you guys. If you're new here, you've learned I am chatty. I often am very chatty in my videos, and I don't edit a lot of my voiceovers because I just love hanging out with you guys and feeling like I'm on FaceTime and we're just hanging out. And this way, like, if you're cleaning your house with me, you can have me on in the background and either watch or just listen, and we're a bunch of girlfriends hanging out because let's be realistic, and I realize not all of you are moms, but a lot of you are, and specifically us as moms, sometimes the hardest part about being a mom, especially a work from home or stay-at-home mom, is that, like, overwhelming feeling of being secluded, and, like, the only people you have to talk to are your children, and just needing, like, adult interaction. So that's what I always, like, look at these videos and voiceovers at, is like hanging out with a friend. Let's just enjoy our time together as well as get the stuff done that we need to get done. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget, like, comment. If you are new here, I would love if you would subscribe. I do a lot of, obviously, cleaning, decluttering, organizing, decorating, makeovers, all the things that pretty much have to do with motherhood, I do over here. And if you want to know more about my life and my family, I do also have a family vlog channel with my husband. He actually runs a lot more of that, so you can always check that one out as well. And share this video. Awesome, like, number one thing to help out my channel, because you guys are always asking how you can support in other ways, is sharing this video. Sharing it on Facebook, Instagram, all the things is a huge help.